It was a cold, clear February morning, and Percy was tired. He worked hard all night to deliver the mail and was ready to rest in the sheds. Thomas was just leaving as Percy trucked into the yard. "Hello, Percy," he peeped. "I hope you had a good night with the mail run." "It was cold," replied Percy. "But I was—" "Sorry, Percy, I must go," interrupted Thomas. "I'm supposed to be working at the docks for a couple of days. Will you tell me about it at the Valentine's Day party?" Percy rolled up to Edward the next morning. "Edward, I forgot about the Valentine's Day party." "What happens there?" Percy asked. Edward smiled. "Every Valentine's Day there is a big party at Knapford. The children and the workmen exchange cards and sing songs. Sometimes they give valentines to their favorite engines." Percy hoped he would get a valentine. All day Percy asked the other engines about the Valentine's Day party. "Last year," said James, "I received 12 valentines." "Bah, I'm too important to think about valentines," rumbled Gordon. The next morning Percy was heading home from his mail run. It was very dark and windy, and he noticed it wasn't getting any lighter. Where was the sun? The clouds were dark. The snow was starting to fall. It began as a light snow, but the wind blew harder and harder, and the snow came down faster and faster. Percy could barely see where he was going. The snow drifted across the tracks, and it was very hard to move. He had to get back to the train yards. After a long time, Percy finally made it. The larger engines had their snow plows on, and had been sent out to try to clear the tracks. But Percy stayed in the sheds and watched snow continue to fall and fall. The next morning a workman came to the yards. He was so bundled he could barely move. "Percy, Sir Tomcat told me to tell you Thomas is snowed in at Brendam. Everyone else has to be extra useful. Maybe Thomas' snowplow can fit you, 'cause you have to clear snow as well." Unfortunately, the snowplow didn't fit, but Percy didn't mind. The next few days he was very busy. Percy struggled to clear the branch line. And unfortunately, he still had to deliver the mail at night. But soon enough, he still had to go to the Valentine's Day party. Knapford is one of the largest stations on Sodor, and it's one of the main stations. Percy hoped that the tracks were clear enough for Thomas to get there. The station had been decorated with hearts and red streamers, and at the front of each platform was a little mailbox. "More mail?" asked Percy. "Now I'm going to miss the party," the driver laughed. "No, Percy, those boxes are for valentines." The party started to get crowded. Lots of children ran up and said hello to Percy. He was very nice to him, but he was still looking for Thomas. He saw Edward had arrived, then Emily. He saw children exchanging Valentine's Day cards and laughing and having a wonderful time. He even saw some children putting small envelopes into his Valentine's mailbox, and the crowd suddenly got quiet. Sir Topham Hatt made an announcement. "Thank you for coming to this splendid party, and to my engines, you are all really useful valentines. For your hard work for cleaning up after the blizzard, each of you will get a hopper of high-graded coal," he promised, "and a good washing at the works, as soon as it warms up." Everyone cheered and applauded. Then some children got together and sang songs. After singing, everyone exchanged Valentine's cards, and the children received fruits and chocolate hearts and other Valentine's treats. At long last, Thomas pulled up next to Percy. The children crowded around Thomas and Percy, smiling and showing all the engines their Valentine's Day cards. They counted Thomas's valentines, and he had 20. Then they started counting Percy's. 18, 19, 20, 21. "The most of all," peeped Percy. "That one was for me," Sir Topham said. "You made yourself extra useful this week," he continued. Percy was about to have your snowplow, Thomas, but unfortunately it didn't fit." "Oh, he can have it," laughed Thomas. "Less plowing for me." Percy smiled. He was glad to have a best friend like Thomas. Well, Thomas, although your snowplow actually didn't fit me, Oh well. Thanks for covering for me, Percy. I'm glad to have a best friend like you, as am I, Thomas. As am I.